You can grow more tomatoes and less leaves if you do a small garden task, right now in the middle of summer. With correct fertilization at the correct time, I was able to double the amount of daffodils this spring, grow my indoor golden pothos to double in size, get my blueberry plants to fruit, and grow more tomatoes with less leaves. I will share all of this with you throughout this video. Hi everyone. Today's focus will be on how to fertilize plants, when to fertilize plants, and how often to fertilize plants. If you overdo it or underdo it, your plants and produce can suffer. You cannot randomly pick any fertilizer because it is not a one-size-fits-all situation. Let me show it. If my goal is to grow more leaves on a plant, such as this golden pothos, which is already an established indoor plant, then I need a fertilizer with more nitrogen. However, if I'm starting a new plant in a container or making a new raised bed, a balanced fertilizer would be a good starting point. So, how would I know which fertilizer to get? On every fertilizer package, you will see three numbers like 333 or 356. When all three numbers are same, it is a balanced fertilizer, which has same proportion of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, also called as NPK. These three numbers are always in the order of NPK. So, for golden pothos, if I want more leaves, something with more N, such as 533 will do, because nitrogen promotes leaf growth. Now, I don't eat my golden pothos and I hope you don't eat yours either. So for plants that you don't eat, you can use synthetic fertilizer. These are fertilizers that would say on their package things like instantly feeds plant or apply every 10 days. These kind of fertilizers are not made from natural resources. They are made from chemicals in a lab. If you are using synthetic fertilizer, make sure it doesn't end up in water streams because it can be harmful for aquatic life. Know that synthetic fertilizer may be expensive as compared to natural ones. It is because you need to apply more of the synthetic ones, whereas the natural ones are slow release and do not need frequent application. Natural fertilizers are made of natural things, such as chicken manure, feather meal, and other similar ingredients. I personally use all natural homemade fertilizer for my indoor plants. It is very mild, so I water my plants with it every 10 to 15 days. Ever since I started using it, my golden pothos has grown quite a lot in size. I will link it in description how to make this super easy natural liquid fertilizer. For my edible plants and fruit trees, I use compost or slow release natural fertilizer. When I start my seedlings in late winter and spring, I use a water-soluble natural fish immersion fertilizer and dilute it a lot before watering my seedlings with it. I dilute it so much because too much fertilizer can burn the roots of small seedlings. Spring is a good time to do first application of a balanced natural fertilizer in your garden. I would fertilize my perennial flowering plants and bulbs, all of my berry plants, and fruit trees in March and April. On the fertilizer packet, there are instructions on how much to apply. You can follow it. I usually eyeball it. I would grab about half a cup of it in my hand and spread it in about 2 square feet of area. For flowering bulbs, like these daffodils, I got much more flowers this year as compared to last year. Because last year I fertilized it even after it was done flowering with a high P and K natural fertilizer. P and K help with root and bulb development, which is why the daffodil bulbs multiplied. And this year I got much more daffodils. For fruit trees and berry bushes, I broadcast it the same way, about a cup of fertilizer around the base of the plant. As the fruit tree grows bigger, you want to spread the fertilizer all around on the ground, till where the tree spreads. For strawberries, I broadcast it on the strawberry patch, a fistful every 2 square feet in spring. For berry bushes, I do the same, except for blueberries. Blueberries not only need slow release fertilizer, They also need solid acidifier if you are growing it in a clay soil. If the soil is not acidic enough, blueberry plants are not able to absorb other nutrients from the soil. Let me show it. Last year, my blueberry plants did not flower, so there were no berries. Fruit trees and berry bushes do skip a year sometimes. But it could also have been due to my negligence the year before, because I missed a few applications of soil acidifier. So when there was a no-show of blueberries, I realized my mistake and fixed it by following the necessary applications. I apply slow release balanced fertilizer to blueberries one time in spring. From March to July, once every month, I would spread about 2 tablespoons of this natural soil acidifier around each plant because I have clay soil in my garden. This year, we had lots of flowers and a decent blueberry harvest. I do grow 11 different types of berries in my small garden. I will link a video in description with all details. For all of my fruit trees and berry bushes, I do not apply fertilizer a second time in July because it can push the plant to make new shoots, which probably will get damaged in winter. Although I think a high pK fertilizer may do them good. I will try it this year and let you know. I would top up my garden with an inch of compost in spring or in late fall. I will link a video in description on how to make your own cost-effective compost. When I run out of compost, in spring I would broadcast a balanced fertilizer in rest of the garden. I do not work the fertilizer into the soil anywhere in my garden. There is an easy way to get it to the plant, which you already do in your garden. I will describe it in the end. If you're starting a new plant in a container, be it indoors or outdoors, it is always better to add a slow release, natural, balanced fertilizer to the potting mix. I usually add about 3/4 cup of fertilizer to a 5-gallon container. As it is a slow release, it will naturally break down in the potting mix over time and provide the plant with food over a period of 3 to 6 months. With a slow release fertilizer, a decorative plant will be okay in container for 6 months and sometimes even longer because it has different nutrition needs as compared to an edible plant. Let me show it. The plants that are in ground, their roots will grow bigger and spread around to look for more nutrients. But in containers, the soil is limited and the roots cannot go deeper or around beyond the container to find more nutrients. If you are growing an edible plant in a container, it will need more nutrients in about 3 months. If you don't provide additional nutrition, it will make vegetables, but not as much. Such as this tomato plant. It is tall enough now and it is already making flowers. But after a couple of flush of tomatoes, it will slow down due to lack of nutrients. So second application of fertilizer can be done in middle of summer. But don't use the same fertilizer that you used in spring. Let me show it with another plant example as well to prove that it works. By mid of summer, your plant will be big enough and ready to produce vegetables, just like these kohlrabi plants. There is a lot of leaf on these plants, but no sign of kohlrabi. If right now I apply a fertilizer with higher N, I will get more leaves. It is not what I want. In first week of July, I applied a fertilizer high in phosphorus and potassium, which means higher P and K and lower N. High P and K encourages plant to make flowers and fruit, along with better root development. I applied it to my tomato plants at the same time as well, and luckily we got enough rain which made these nutrients easily available to the plants. Within 2 weeks, I saw several kohlrabi ready to harvest, and many tomatoes formed on tomato plants, which are growing beautifully right now. I have just the right amount of tomato leaves on these plants. Not too much, not too less. You must have noticed that I broadcast these fertilizers, but I never work it into the soil. This is because this job is easily done by water when we water the plants. But there's a huge possibility that you may be watering your plants the wrong way and washing off these nutrients. I have covered in detail how to tell when to water your plants, how much to water it with, and what are the best ways to water. Click on the video linked on the screen to check it out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Even a simple like helps this channel a lot. A comment would be even better.